Welcome to another episode of Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement. I'm here at the News Forum where all voices matter. Well, recently our guest co-founded the Canadian Anti-Monopoly Project. They declare they are fighting for a more democratic economy. Today, we'll dive into what that means. So joining us are co-founders Robin Shaban, Keldon and Andrew Cameron. Welcome to all of you.
Thanks for having us.
Robin, start with you. Welcome back to the program. This is going to be an out of left field question for you. I know you can handle it. First of all, why is this project needed? Are monopolies all that bad?
Well, the reason why this project is needed is because with the upcoming review of the Competition Act, we need to ensure that there are voices at the table that are representing the needs of consumers, of workers, and interests beyond just big business. The Competition Act, which is our core competition legislation, is really core for managing monopolies and market power more broadly in our economy. And we need to have these laws in place in order to address market power and the impact of monopolies so that we can have a fair and equitable economy.
Andrew, I'll go to you. Obviously, the name of the project is the Anti-Monopoly Project. So clearly there's, I guess, a baked-in conclusion that too much monopoly is a bad idea. Is that where you're coming from?
Yes, that's fair, because when everything gets concentrated quite to that level, it doesn't leave room for small businesses and small towns and people who aren't part of those big conglomerates to, one, have their voices heard or even have economic opportunities, right? So I come from a small town in a smaller part of the country that is being left behind as businesses consolidate into larger centers in the bigger cities. A lot of the economic opportunity moves away from, like I said, in my case, the Maritimes, from our part of the region.
Keldon, want to weigh in on this as well? Why are you involved in this anti-monopoly project?
Well, I think, as Robin hinted at, we have a balance right now, especially I think in the think tank space, where the voices of concentrated economic power are most often heard, and the voices of consumers, small businesses, and smaller communities are pushed to the side. And to the question of why are monopolies so bad, I think it really comes down to at what level do we have any sort of control over our economy, and that's why we have that word democratic in there. And so what CAMP hopes to do is to be a balance and to provide a different perspective than you usually hear from the economic or legal community.
Yeah, Robin, let's dig deeper into Keldon's last point there. So you're clearly thinking that there's a space in the dialogue that happens kind of on the intellectual level or the think tank level that is not really being expressed. So you want to kind of occupy that space. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, historically, when you look at our modern competition legislation, which was enacted in the mid 1980s, from then up until now, the policy scene, the group of experts that's been really key at driving competition law reform forward have been, I would say, tied to or related to the large corporate interests that are engaging with the law. So oftentimes experts in Canada, they're the lawyers that are representing businesses either complaining to the Bureau, the Competition Bureau, or representing firms that are being investigated by the Competition Bureau. We don't have a community of expertise quite yet that represents diverse perspectives and diverse needs as part of the dialogue, although we've been well on our way in developing this community. And that's one of the projects that we've actually recently initiated at CAMP.
Explain a bit further on that point. What have you just initiated?
So we have a project that we're undertaking right now. It's a monthly meetup where policy thinkers, policy experts, and other researchers that are interested in the issues of monopoly and competition, but don't really know how it fits into their work or why it's relevant to broader economic questions, can come together and we can discuss some of these meatier economic policy problems